Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the Italian Tier 10 Tech Tree medium tank, the Progetto 65. Now if you do enjoy the video, as always, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe down below as it really does help out the channel. And yes, the Progetto 65, the auto-reloading Italian medium tank. It's a tank that I have always really enjoyed. Why? Because the gun handling was superb. Really, really superb. The gun handling was always amazing. I did try it for a little bit with the camo net, because the camo you could get down to a really good level with this tank, but the gun handling just didn't feel as good without the gun stabilizer. So I do run the gun stabilizer instead of the camo net, but it is genuinely like, it was one of those tanks that pre 6.0, because obviously with pre 6.0 accuracy, it was like accurate tanks were great, but at the same time, sometimes they still felt like they missed shots that they really shouldn't. This was one of those tanks that was glorious. It just hit all of the shots that I ever wanted to hit. Snapshots, the ridiculously extreme pixel shots, everything. It loved it, and it was beautiful. Also, good night, Mr. M41D. And I just thoroughly enjoyed it. Adding to that, the armour on this tank is a little bit troll. It's not the best armour in the universe. Well, it's not good armour, if we're honest. But it's really troll. You actually get more ricochets off this armour than you'd expect to, just because of the angles on the tank. The gun handling is fabulous. The mobility is 65 kilometers an hour. It's fantastic. You've got 268 penetration on the APCR, as well as 330 heat pen, which is, again, very, very nice. You've got 360 alpha, which is a little bit odd for, you know, a 105mm gun at tier 10. They tend to have 390, but this has 360 for some reason. And, yeah, you got 1.93 second aim time with the build that I have, which is utterly fabulous. It really is. And with the camo rating, with the build that I've got as well, at 313, it's really, really nice. This tank has always been glorious to play. The one downside to this tank is its reload. Its reload is pretty slow for 360 alpha, but you do have a pretty nice clip that you can use to good effect. Also, you have the flexibility of the auto-reloading system in the fact that you can go single shot against someone for a wee while, and then you can decide, oh no, you know what, I feel like clipping you out now, and you can do that. You have that sort of flexibility, which is what I've always loved about the auto-reloading system. It's just the way that they've balanced some of the tanks is a little bit painful, and that was always the case for stuff like this tank and the old school Rinoceronte, and, you know, the way that they balanced the Italian heavies in general was pretty horrid. Not that bad anymore these days since they buffed them, but yeah, the Progetto, it's just a little bit slow, if we're honest. Like, you got 6.7 second reload on this tank for the best DPM, right? You might go, well, 6.7 seconds for 360 is not too bad. Well, you've got to factor in the intra-clip reload, which is 2.5 seconds as well, which, you know, the best reload you actually get on this tank is 9.4 seconds with this build that I have. And that's for 360 alpha, which is slow. When you consider that most of the tanks these days, after they've overbuffed a lot of them with their DPM, are looking at reloads of between 6 seconds to 6.5 seconds for 390 to 400. That's really slow for the Progetto. But, again, you do have the flexibility of the clip. It's just more like, if this tank had an extra second off the reload, would that really hurt it, right? Would that make it broken? Probably not. But hey-ho. What do I run in terms of a crew on the old Progetto 65? Well, I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Run and Gun, Steady Aim, Track Mechanic, Camouflage Expertise, and Muffled Shot. Camouflage Expertise just to make the camo a little bit better, with Muffled Shot with the same aspect of, you know, reducing the effect of firing on my camo. The Steady Aim to make the gun 10% more accurate, with Run and Gun making it better on firing on the move. And then Track Mechanic, which is something you could drop for Snapshot if you wanted to, or drop for Silent Driving, it's down to you. But I run Track Mechanic because a lot of the time, this tank, if it gets shot, seems to lose its tracks, and it was getting a little bit frustrating having my tracks blown off and then just getting perma-tracked, which was a little bit frustrating, so I just got rid of that, essentially. And then, in terms of equipment, I run the Advanced Loader, the Gun Stabilizer, and Optics. Optics to be able to spot for myself in this Progetto, I can get the best view range I can possibly get out of it, which is lovely, and get up to 512 meters of view range. The Gun Stabilizer, like I said earlier on, because the gun was getting a little bit frustrating when I ran the camo net. It loved a good miss. And especially with how you're going to see it in this replay and the next replay, how nice and snapshotty it is with the gun stabilizer, it doesn't quite feel like that if you don't run it. But again, it's down to personal preference. I would recommend that you try the camo net over the gun stabilizer and see how you feel with the gun. And if it does annoy you, run the gun stabilizer instead, which is, like I say, you fit the tank to your playstyle and how you feel with a vehicle, right? You don't let someone else tell you that you should run it like this, because it's always down to your comfort level. So in this first game, you can see we're up to 4 kills with 4.7k damage. We put 1 shot into the King Tiger. We were waiting for our reloads there, and we get the second shot in to double tap him and finish him off, getting our 5th kill of this game. I was waiting to get as many shells, essentially, in as I humanly could do, and I didn't want to go too early on the King Tiger, because I felt like if he was a 3-shot for me, by the time I put the second shot in, he was just going to turn around and snapshot us and we'd be dead, which is not good. But by the time he was a 2-shot, it's easy, because we can surprise him, go hello, put a shot in, and then wait for the reload and just shut him down. But there's only 1 tank left on the enemy team. It is a 268 here on Azure Coast, and we're charging towards this 268, who has just shut down one of our friends, and I'm fully expecting it to go after the artillery, because, well, who wouldn't want to go shoot the pig? Who doesn't like bacon? So we're going to try and get up behind it. We actually get spotted by the 268 as we're crossing, which is not a good time for us. But they've fired, which means we've got plenty of time to get up here, aim for the little cupola on top, and we shut down the object 268. And we secure our 6th kill of that game. We're finished with the 5.2k damage. We come top on the team, the 6 kills. Bit of blocked, the first class Top Gun Sniper High Caliber, 1476 base XP, a pretty decent game there for the Progetto 65 on Azure Coast, and it's always lovely to get a Top Gun there too with that last kill. And we're on to the second replay of this video, the final replay. It is here on the old Fisherman's Bay. And on Fisherman's Bay, what I'm going to do is take it to the position at F6, and by going to F6, I can go hull down there if I want to. I can shoot down into the town along the E line to get shots into those guys as they progress into their side, or I can get shots at people across their base if I spot them. And naturally, because this thing has pretty good camo and it has pretty good view range, we can spot them out and get some damage off. The thing with this is these marauding light tanks I can't really do too much about, and I don't want to get spotted too soon because I have to wait for the reload. It does take a long time to get this clip into the Progetto 65, and you have to spend a lot of time waiting. And the auto-reloading system is all about patience. You don't always just want to go full auto-loader against tanks. Obviously, if you get the opportunity to, it's always a nice thing to do. But, like, against the Sturm Tiger, for example, I'm not just going to sit there going, I can auto-load. I'm just going to put 1 shot in, pull back, wait for my reload. It's all about using the system to your advantage. So, obviously, being a single shot every now and then occasionally being able to just go, oh, you know what, I'm just going to dump into this guy now, and you can do that. So, we're just looking for shot here into the Conqueror. We're just waiting for the reload, though, and then we're going to see if we can get a shot into the ST2, who is looking for us. So, we try and snap a shot into his side, but we end up missing. I didn't really want to take a double tap from the ST2. That would not be a good time. And there's a building in the way, which is a little bit frustrating, which means that we can't quite find the shot of that guy. And instead of just using the double tap to shut down that building, I may as well wait for the full reload to be able to get rid of it, and therefore I can get some shots into the ST2's side if he decides to start engaging into the town. So he goes for the double tapping towards us, ends up missing. Now we're fully loaded. We're going to see if we can go feather a shot on this guy, see if we can get some damage off. And he is still facing our way, which is a little bit dangerous, especially if he pulls out and spots us. It might hurt a little bit, but we're not seeing him, he's not seeing us. We know the Sturm Tiger's a 1-shot over there. There's a Conway spotted. There's the ST2 again. He gets spotted. We try and get shot into his side, but sadly, it's just at the angle that we couldn't do anything about it. He's still looking for shots towards us, so I was not really taking the bait there. But now we're just going to wait. We pop a shot blind, because I thought maybe he was swiveling around in the town, but he's not quite doing that. And now we're loaded again. We're going to go after this Conqueror. Now, the Conqueror, I can kill this guy in a clip. So I'm thinking, you know what? I might just clip you, Conqueror. But actually, no, I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait for my shell to come back, track him in place, and now I can clip the Conqueror to shut it down. Unfortunately, we don't roll high enough to kill him, but we do get him with the 3rd shot. And just waiting that extra couple of seconds for the 4th shot to get into my clip was a lot better than just dumping the whole clip in the first place to kill the Conqueror, because that meant that it'll take me less time, essentially, to get the clip back into the Progetto 65. Again, with the auto-reloading system, it's all about managing that clip. Now, I'm looking at this ST2, and I was thinking, should I double tap this guy? Should I shoot him in the back of here and then finish him off with the 2nd shell? But I thought, nah, you know, I want to get the full clip back into the Progetto 65. We'll get as many as possible. Probably a mistake. I probably should have just fired to kill him anyway, but it is what it is. We look for the shot into the back end of him this time, and we do shut down that ST2 with a shot into the rear. Now the Manticore's driving in front of us, and again, instead of just automatically going, oh, a manticore and firing. We waited for our shell to join into the clip, and we put a shot in. Now we're just going to wait again. I was thinking about just clipping him out, but we waited again for our best DPM. Unfortunately, we missed that shot, but we do get that second shot in, and he gets shut down by the IS-32. But we're noticing what's happening on the map. They do have mediums at J2, which could be a problem. But the Conqueror GC gets spotted. It's like, hello, Mr. Conqueror GC. Don't mind if I shut you down, Mr. Piggy. And we get rid of the Piggy. So we secure our third kill of this game for 3.1k damage. And once again, we know what's happening. Their team has looped down the one line, and they are now sat at the windmill. But I need to wait for my reload. I need to wait for my best DPM before I can do anything about those guys, because we don't want to get stuck in an awful reload, because it's the one thing that you can end up doing in these auto-reloaders is just firing on reload, and then you just get stuck in a cycle of horrible DPM, and you just don't want to be in that situation. It's not a good time. So the Ruthless is driving out in front of us. It's like, oh, goodness me, he did drive out, and sadly that ricochets. I thought I was going to track and pen that guy, but sadly it ricocheted. The Conway gets a shot towards us. We're waiting for the reload yet again. We get the shot in to track him. Sadly, he repairs, but we do get a second shot in. And again, I'm thinking, you know what? That guy is going to get away. He was going to get back behind cover, and therefore I was not going to have another chance to shoot at him, so I may as well dump shells towards him to try and get him as low health as possible. And we got 2 or 3 shots into him before he got shut down. Now, once again, I decided, you know what, I'm going to put a shot into the griller, because I'm just going to take the opportunity to get the shot in, because I don't always have that opportunity. And we're going to wait for the reload again. We got shot by something that's actually sat at B2, which is like, oh, there's something still at B2. Okay. Interesting. It's not spotted by the light tank. That's interesting. Now the light tank is progressing down that A line. I'm expecting it to get spotted. And if it gets spotted, it's getting shot. But it depends on how close to the reload on this shell I get. So, like, we're 2 seconds out. I could shoot the Progetto, but I'd just be wasting the opportunity for that shell. But we end up bouncing the Progetto 65. Now the 4005 is spotted. Oh, yeah, we're taking that opportunity. We get the shot to track it in place. We go for that drive wheel shot again. And then it just misses, so that final shell was pointless. But if we had the opportunity to take as much of that hit points off of that 4005 as possible, we were taking it, because obviously he will just end up popping over and smashing us for 1300 if we're not careful. And it's always great to get all those hit points off of those guys. But once again, we're on a full reload. And now that we know that the light tank is where he is at K1, it's kind of safe to progress. So we're just going to use this time to progress up to the ridgeline, get as close to the next fight as possible, and get the clip in as quickly as we can so that we can get into this fight, get some more damage, because we're at 4.8k damage with 1900 assistance, which is pretty good. This Waffle Panzer IV is my next victim. I'm looking at this guy going, he's full health. I could clip him out, but if I ram him, I could kill him in one clip. Oh, yes, that's what we're doing. An artillery shell just rained in, and I'm thinking, did that damage him? No? Good. Good. He's still got hit points. Let's go. This Waffle Panzer IV, I want all of his hit points if I can get it. He's spotted here, 1600 HP. We get one shot into him on the move, ram him. Artillery hits him for 864, so that meant we actually killed him with the ram. But we got a bit of assistance. Well, we got all of the assistance there on that Waffle Panzer IV. We know where the final 2 tanks left on the enemy team are. They're both over here at A1, A2. And by the way, you've seen me load heat earlier on, because I did realise I only had 6 shells left in my APCR, and I didn't want to end up in a situation where I was spending time loading only 2 shells, so we loaded a full clip of heat just to make sure that we were getting the reload. We now go for the shot into the turret of the barn of the 4005, and we get rid of that guy now, which is great, with leaving only 1 tank left, which is that Progetto 66, as our Italian auto-reloading heavy tank brethren. And we know where he is. He's in this corner somewhere. So it's all about not getting caught out. Because naturally, this guy can clip me out as much as I can clip him out. So it's a bit of an awkward dance. But we're looking for the shot into the side of the turret. But there is a destructible cover wall in the way, which is heat problems. But now we know that the Progetto is fired. It's like, okay, you know what? Screw it. We're just going to go in. And we shut down the Progetto to guarantee our top gun. And we finished the game with 6 kills. The 6.7k damage. The ace tanker probably with 2.3k assistance. The ace tanker, the high caliber, the top gun with 1766 base XP. A pretty damn nice game there for the Progetto 65 on Fisherman's Bay. A tank that I've always loved just because the mobility and the gun handling were always so fabulous. It's just held back a little bit by the reload being pretty damn slow. But you can have a lot of fun with the Progetto. Like I said, the gun is fabulous, the mobility is good, the camo is pretty damn nice. It's just a pretty enjoyable tank. You've just got to know how to manage that auto-reloading system to get the best out of it. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
You're great.